Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with today's pregame report between the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. It is game 2 tonight at Crypto.com Arena. I hate the name of that arena, but boy, oh boy, are we going to be in for some entertaining hockey. The LA Kings had leads of 4-0 and 5-2, and the Oilers stormed all the way back in game 1 to tie the thing before scoring kind of a weird fluky goal by Phillip Danault with less than a minute left in the third period. I expect these two teams to lock it down a little bit more defensively tonight. I do expect if the Kings do get a big lead, if they're up 4-0 again, I expect them to clamp down hard. However, I think the Oilers have some momentum here. Some people don't believe in momentum from game to game. However, I truly do believe that there's something there for Edmonton. I think because they were finally actually able to break through the LA Kings defense a little bit. They had the Kings sitting back, and they looked hesitant. I think that third period in game 1 was the first time I've seen the LA Kings look hesitant all season against Edmonton. And if the Oilers can find a way to get a lead and push the pace and push the pressure through the neutral zone, and if Connor McDavid does Connor McDavid things, we could be talking about a series tie heading back to Edmonton later this weekend. I'm hoping for the series tie, but there's lots to talk about. We're going to talk about the projected lineups today. We are going to go over the stats after game 1. I will be talking about keys to the game for both teams, of course. And as always, we'll do players to watch and the score prediction. So please make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and your score prediction down in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoy this pregame report, just make sure to hit that like button. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that's been tuning in so far early in the playoffs. It's been one game, but the views, the engagement, the love and support that you've also shown me has been just absolutely wonderful. We're already pretty close to 5,000 subscribers. We've gained about 80, I think, in the last 3 days, which is unbelievable. So thank you all so much. With that out of the way, let's talk about the projected lineups for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Now, these are not official. These are the lines that we had in game 1. However, you'll notice a little star by some players' names because there is a chance that these players are either in or out, and we're going to talk about it. So on line 1 in game 1, you had Hyman with McDavid and Brown. However, as the game went along, Connor Brown was bumped down. Jeff Skinner got a look up there, and eventually you ended up having McDavid with Hyman and Perry for a few shifts. You had Draisaitl get a few shifts as well. I expect that top line to not be Hyman, McDavid, Brown at puck drop. If Evander Kane gets into this lineup, and I don't know if he's going to, but if he is playing tonight, of course, I make these pregame reports all the time. I'll upload, and then the immediate minute that I upload the video, this is usually outdated. So, of course, people will likely see the lines before they see this video. So if these lines are wrong, obviously, just correct me in the comments. But if Vander Kane's in the lineup, I do expect him to play somewhere in the top 6. Him and McDavid have had historical success together. Evander Kane is a shooter, a pure shooter. He will shoot the puck from literally anywhere, and he can put the puck in the net. Whether he has, that game sense after not playing for over a year now, that remains to be seen. On the second line, you have Podkolzin with Draisaitl and Victor Arvidsson. Now, I didn't think this line looked bad at all. It was one of the only lines that I thought actually had any kind of forward momentum until the Oilers started storming back in that third period. The first 40 minutes, on the other hand, the whole team looked completely out of sorts, and the Kings were playing beautiful textbook shutdown hockey. But Draisaitl, he had a goal and an assist in game 1. He kind of got things started for Edmonton. He had that nice one-time goal at the end of the second period to kind of kickstart that energy for the Oilers. He had that rage moment on the bench where he's yelling at everyone to pick it up, and I don't blame him. I'd be pretty pissed off too with how the rest of the team was playing around him. Podkolzin, he didn't look bad, but he wasn't very effective. Arvidsson, he's just a little undersized right now, but he's good with his feet, good with his speed. I just don't want to see him fall 13 times tonight because he seems to fall a lot. On the third line, you have Jeff Skinner with Nugent Hopkins and Trent Frederic. Again, this is a line that I'm not sure if that's what it's going to look like. I thought Trent Frederic looked really off. I know he had an assist in the game 1, but he didn't look right. I've watched him a lot on the Boston Bruins because I am also a Bruins fan. Oilers first always, though. But for Trent Frederic, he doesn't look right. That high ankle sprain is clearly still bothering him. I don't know if he's going to stay in the lineup. I don't know if he'll get more ice time. Chris Knobloch said he only played 9 minutes because in the third period he shortened his bench, which makes sense. You're pressing for the lead. You're playing more of your top guys. But for Trent Frederic, I just don't think his game is there right now. But we'll see. I could be completely wrong. I'm just speculating, so we'll see what happens. Nugent Hopkins, of course, has to do something. He has to do more than what he has been doing. His play from the regular season has already translated early into this playoff series. You need more from the Nuge. We love Nuge here in Edmonton. Just need just a little bit more from him. It would be real nice if he could just generate anything on offense right now. And then, of course, the fourth line, Mattias Janmark, Adam Henrique, and Corey Perry. Of course, Corey Perry had a goal and an assist once he was bumped up with McDavid, and they were pressing to try and tie the game. Corey Perry, the ageless wonder. It's unbelievable what he's been able to do this season. He had 19 goals in the regular season, and he has followed that up with a 2-point performance in Game 1. I don't expect that to be sustainable for a player of his age and his wear and tear, but the fact that he can be bumped up that lineup when they're looking for some offense because of how smart of a player he is. He does not need to move fast. You just have to be smart. And his hockey IQ is likely the best on the entire team, other than maybe Connor McDavid, honestly. Corey Perry also has very silky smooth hands. If he's in around the blue paint, he is very, very fun to watch with his stick handling. So we'll see how that line looks. Mattias Janmark, we got to give a huge shout out to Mattias Janmark. He scored a goal on a goalie in Game 1, and playoff Janmark is a thing. We just need playoff Connor Brown to show up now, and this team's going to be cooking. On defense, you had Nurse with Bouchard. Did not look great. I thought Nurse was actually okay, especially on that 5-on-3 penalty kill. I thought Darnell Nurse did a good job. He was getting in shooting lanes, blocking shots. I felt Darnell Nurse was put into a defensive role more than a puck-moving, get the puck into the O-zone role in Game 1. He was in his zone a lot, and his underlying metrics from Game 1 don't look good, but he wasn't ever really out of position. He did a good job pressuring LA Kings forwards to go to the outside, and I thought he did a good job clearing the crease as well. Darnell Nurse, I just want to see him use that speed of his, that skating. Skating is Darnell Nurse's best asset. I want to see him grab the puck. If he doesn't have an outlet, skate it out of the zone. He is a very, very good skater. He's a big body. Nobody's taking that puck off of him. Let's see what Nurse can do tonight. And Evan Bouchard, it goes without saying, he has to be better. If he's going to play 28 minutes tonight like he did in Game 1, he cannot have the errors that he had in Game 1. You just cannot have those brain farts. I don't mind one brain fart. You know what? I don't even mind 2 brain farts. But 3, 4, or 5, absolutely not. We cannot do this year. We cannot have this in the playoffs. He had 3 assists. That's terrific. They were all secondary assists. Again, they all count the same, but it is pretty easy to look at Bouchard. He gives the puck to McDavid and Draisaitl. They do their thing. They end up scoring, and he gets a secondary assist. Obviously, it's good for the stat sheet, and Bouchard is very instrumental in helping this team produce offense. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm also not trying to knock him. But it is very obvious that Bouchard just has to make better decisions. I would rather Bouchard, if he doesn't think he has a play, turn around, hold the puck along the boards until you have support come in and help you. The Oilers, they rushed too much in Game 1. Their defense were pressured hard by the LA Kings forecheck, and that's what they do. They will pressure you into a mistake, and then they make you pay on those mistakes. For Bouchard, if there's no play along the boards, if there's no play in the middle, don't put the puck in the middle, by the way, just press your body against the board, step on the puck, wait for reinforcements to come and help you, and then try and get out of the zone after that. Or just dump it down the ice. If you ice the puck, at least you get a face-off. You can try and get a breakout from there. Now, the second pair, Kulak and Wallman. This pair did not look very good in Game 1. I don't know how many minutes they actually played together. Wallman, for sure, looked completely out of sorts. His first playoff game, we have to remember some of these guys have never played playoff games before. Wallman was one of them. Emberson was one of them. I don't know if Josh Brown has ever played an NHL playoff game before. I don't remember. Either way, these 4 defensemen, Kulak, Wallman, Emberson, Brown, they were overwhelmed. Josh Brown only played 5 minutes, so he was overwhelmed in 5 minutes of ice time. That's not a good look. I don't expect Josh Brown to play tonight. Klingberg could go, apparently. Yesterday, Chris Knobloch said Klingberg could be an option, potentially. And then Cam Dineen also should be an option. I like Cam Dineen a lot. He's a little undersized, but he is good at moving the puck. He's good with his feet. good with his stick, and he has good hockey IQ in the defensive zone. I would much rather a guy like Dineen in the lineup over Josh Brown. Wallman has to be much, much better. He was just a little too amped up, I think, in game one. He took a couple bad penalties. The one off the glass or not, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to discuss whether it was or was not a penalty. He just can't do that. He had no pressure on him when he flipped that puck up. Right? Like, whether the puck hit the glass or not doesn't matter. Wallman still made a poor decision. That's all I'm saying. We need Wallman to be better. We need Kulak to also be better. I didn't think Kulak was awful, but he does also have to be better. And in goal, I truly do expect Stuart Skinner to get the start tonight. I cannot imagine Chris Knobloch going to Calvin Pickard already. You have to show the team as a head coach that you are not going to panic after game one. It is a one-game sample size, and someone like myself who is super in analytics, you cannot over-analyze a one-game sample size. I know we were all emotional after game one, including myself. I've been up and down on the emotion train. It's been a roller coaster already. But as a head coach, don't over-panic. Don't over-analyze game one. You go back to Stuart Skinner. Obviously, if after the first period tonight you're down 2 or 3-0, you yank him. That is acceptable to me. But you have to go back to him tonight. And if you lose, you go to Calvin Pickard for game 3 at home. If you win, you just keep riding him, right? They are going to put faith in Stu, whether we agree with it or not. That's just the logic of head coaching. They're not going to panic yet. If they go down 0-2 in the series, then you can make your decisions. Then you can put Pickard in and you can sit Skinner on the bench. But you have to give Stu one chance to bounce back. Give him one opportunity to bounce back. Let's see if he does it. Now, when it comes to the stats, of course, like I said, this is a one-game sample size, so these numbers are outrageous, completely unsustainable on both sides. The LA Kings power play, 40%. Their penalty kill, 100%. You love to see that. Goals per game, 6 for the Kings. Goals against, 5. Expected goals at 5-on-5. The LA Kings, 51.52%. So at 5-on-5, the game was actually pretty evenly played. It was just the 6-on-5 for the Oilers and then all the power plays for the Kings that kind of like skewed the numbers. In all situations, the Oilers' expected goals was below 30%. So Edmonton, they have to be better tonight. Just no questions. Shooting percentage, 17.54%, and save percentage, 82.2%. Of course, that shooting percentage is going to drop as the playoffs go along. The save percentage will come back up, but I'm having these numbers on screen because I think it's fun to talk about. For the Oilers, their power play, 0%. They went 0 for 2. Hopefully they get more than just 2 power plays this time. The Kings had 2 5-on-3s. I'd like to see the Oilers get at least 1 5-on-3 tonight. Come on, refs, game management. Give the team a chance. Let them get going. Look, our power play 0%. We're not going to score on it. Why not just give us a 5-on-3 for 2 full minutes? That would be really nice. The penalty kill is at 60%. Goals per game, 5. Goals against per game, 6. Expected goals, 48.48%. Team shooting percentage is actually a little bit higher than the Kings. It's at 17.8%. Boy, oh boy, could you imagine if they sustained that? They'd be scoring 6-7 goals a game. That'd be hilarious. And team save percentage, 82.4%. Technically, the team save percentage for Edmonton is a little bit higher than the Kings. Kind of funny. We're all ragging on Stu, but Darcy Kemper also had a very, very tough night. So that's why we don't over-criticize, over-analyze, overreact to a one-game sample, right? The Kings lead 1-0. Let's get to the keys of the game. For the Edmonton Oilers, number 1, this is literally the most important key to the game here, in my opinion, for either team. Score the first goal. Whoever scores the first goal should be coming out on top. And for the Oilers, you cannot allow the Kings not only to get a 1-goal lead, you cannot let them get a multi-goal lead because they are so good defensively. In fact, I would consider the Oilers lucky that they were even able to bounce back and tie the game. They were not in that game. They did not deserve to win game 1. Score the first goal. Do not allow LA to get that lead because they will. They will. I mean, they have the same video that we do. They have the same video that the Oilers do. They are not going to blow a 4-goal lead again. It is not going to happen. The Oilers have to get the lead. They have to play with the lead and force the Kings to open up just a little bit. They're not going to open up a lot. Teams barely open up nowadays from their system, but you have to get that first goal. Super, super important. Whoever scores first tonight is absolutely winning. Number 2, roll 4 lines. I talked about this in my day after discussion yesterday. The top-heavy ice time for players, it's too much. It's unsustainable. You can't run your top guys as much as Edmonton ran them in Game 1 for a whole series. especially in a grindy series like this. You have to roll 4 lines, trust your players. Of course, if you're down a goal in the third period, you're going to shorten the bench. That makes sense. But you have to just roll your lines, see what they can give you for at minimum 40 minutes. Chris Knoblauch was changing up the lines before the first period even ended in game 1. He is so notorious for just flipping everyone around throughout the game. It's tough to get momentum. It's tough to get chemistry, especially for a group that has not played a lot together. And it's going to be even harder for this group to gain chemistry if you have guys like Evander Kane jumping into the lineup. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And then number 3, a full 60-minute effort. The Oilers cannot assume that they can just play for 20 minutes, have a glorious comeback, and call it a day. That's not how the NHL works. They got lucky to tie the game. Of course, the Kings won because they deserved it. The Oilers have to play a full 60 minutes. If you want to win, you cannot take your foot off the gas. You cannot let the Kings get a 4-0 lead by the end of the second period. You have to have the lead full 60 minutes, or this series is going to be over in 4 or 5. That's just the reality of the situation. The Kings are too good, too fast, too strong to not play for full 60 minutes. All right? Now, for the LA Kings, number 1, and this is an interesting one. Be more physical. Now, the Kings are a more physical team than Edmonton, but in game 1, the Oilers threw more hits than the Kings did, which is very surprising because the Oilers were one of the lowest hitting teams in the entire NHL during the regular season. I think the LA Kings, once that third period happened, they got a little bit away from their game and they weren't hitting as much. They weren't being as punishing. Guys like McDavid and Draisaitl were able to squeeze through checks. I think the LA Kings, watch for them to be more physical. Watch for them to try and obstruct a little bit more in the neutral zone as well. Look for the hooks, the grabs, the clutching and grabbing, and we'll see what the officials let them get away with. Of course, the Oilers do the same thing. I'm not blaming officials here. This is playoff hockey. These are big boys. They can handle it. Number 2, shoot everything. They have seen the goals that can get by Stuart Skinner. And if Stuart Skinner's in the net tonight, if you're the LA Kings forwards and defensemen, you're licking your lips. You're already drooling. You're already hungry at the thought of, oh boy, if I just throw this puck on net, that's going in and I'm going to pump up my playoff stats. Shoot literally everything on net. You never know. With Stuart Skinner, it's either going through him and in, or he's going to turn into Dominik Hasek tonight, but you won't know until you start throwing the puck on the net. It'll be important for LA not to be picky and choosy tonight. And number 3, I already talked about this a little bit, but clamp down defensively if you have the lead. The LA Kings, it is very, very rare for them to give up a lead. It is even more rare for them to give up a multi-goal lead, and that happened in game 1. If the Kings have the lead tonight, I don't expect them to let up. I don't expect them to give that lead up. I don't expect the Oilers to come back and win. I don't expect them to come back and tie it. For the LA Kings, if you get the lead, clamp down just a little bit harder in that third period. Now, the players to watch for Edmonton, of course, the worm, the ageless wonder. I'm going Corey Perry. He had a huge impact in game 1 with his smarts, his playmaking ability, his scoring ability. For Corey Perry, he is going to be instrumental in this team. The depth scoring and his ability to jump up and play with the best players in the league. Watch for Corey Perry to have an impact, whether it is scoring or getting under the skin of some Kings players. And for the LA Kings, my player to watch is Andrei Kuzmenko, who has found himself a home in LA. He looks comfortable. He is fast. He is skilled. He is a player that a lot of people, this is the player that Canucks fans saw in his rookie season when he scored over 20 goals. They loved him. He couldn't find his game after that. They traded him to Calgary. He looked out of sorts in Calgary. He went to Philly. Tortorella barely played him. They sent him to LA, and Kuzmenko has newfound love for the game, newfound energy, and he looks really, really good. He is fast. He is hard to stop. Great on the power play. He's my player to watch for the Kings. Now, my score prediction. Oh boy. Game 1, I predicted the Kings to win 4-3 in overtime. A few people were very upset about that. I don't blame you. However, I am giving you, and I only do this a few times a year because I can only do it a few times a year. There's only a certain amount of Austin Hockey guaranteed magic in the universe. The Austin Hockey guarantee, and it works 100% of the time, 60% of the time. I promise. The Austin Hockey guarantee, I am saying the Oilers are tying this series up. They're going to go home tied 1-1. I am predicting a 5-2 Oilers win. I do think For some reason, I do think they've gotten into Darcy Kemper just a little bit. I think Edmonton's going to get the lead tonight. I think the Kings are going to open it up just slightly, and the Oilers are going to take advantage. I think Stu's going to have a good bounce back. He probably gives up one, maybe even two ugly goals. I don't expect him to give up more than 3 or 4 tonight, but we'll have to see what happens. That is my prediction. I believe the Oilers are going to tie this series up, heading back to Oil Country, which... Also, by the way, I will be in Oil Country on Sunday for Game 4. I'm going to that game, so there will be no live stream on Sunday. However, there will be a live stream tonight. There will be a live stream Friday. If you're excited to watch the live stream, if you're excited to see me open more hockey cards, if you're excited to say hi to my cats who like to jump in the background and hang out with me, make sure to tune in tonight. We're going to have tons and tons of fun. The first live stream of the playoffs was an absolute blast, total success, because you're all the best fans in the world. Not just Oilers fans, by the way. All the fans that have been tuning in. Thank you all so much for your support. It means the world to me. I can't wait for the game tonight. I'm all jacked up. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you tonight at the live stream.